a lot of people talking, especially Joe Budden.
I've been better than you this entire fucking decade.
M threw some shots at Joe, bringing up his alleged history of abuse and his dismissed domestic abuse charges from 2016 on the Kamikaze track, Fall.
Somebody tell Button before I snap, he better fasten it, or have his body back and zip the closest thing he's had to hits a smacking bitch.
And Joe fired back on a recent episode of his show, The Joe Budden Podcast.
But in my rapper brain, I'm a content nigga. You gotta say something. You have not said anything for the better part of a whole fucking decade.
M and Joe have had somewhat of a complicated relationship over the years. In January 2011, Eminem signed the group Slaughterhouse, including Joe, to his label Shady Records.
What's the interactions with you and Eminem? What have they been like?
They've been good. They've been good. Actually, that would be an understatement. They have been great, just far and few.
Joe eventually admitted that Slaughterhouse was initially a diss aimed at M, but he was persuaded to rewrite the lyrics.
And the M, one of the illest ever on the mic. We're less different than we all like. This ain't about star power, I ain't on the hype.
In 2017, following his BET Awards cipher aimed at President Trump and the release of his album Revival, Eminem faced a lot of criticism, some of which came from Joe.
This is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. You will not use the plight of black people, not him, Interscope, or whoever the fuck is behind that, to sell a fucking record and widen your fucking profit margin.
Joe's former Slaughterhouse groupmate, Royce da 5'9", weighed in as well.
If you feel that way and if it really concerns you like that, that's something you should reach out about.
And on M's Chloroseptic remix, he appeared to throw shots at Joe.
Y'all saw the track list and had it fit before you heard it, so you formed your verdict while you sat with your arms crossed.
And at one point, Joe addressed the song himself.
I don't think that M was talking to me, number one. But boy, did he kill that verse.
Eventually, it looked like the two had deaded any beef between them.
I can't really say how he felt. I can only speak about how I felt hearing the song. I was glad we were able to get past it because that moment seemed to cause a lot of tension between people, but we moved past it.
But after M's most recent diss on Fall, Joe is not about to let this slide.
You better go ask some niggas that's close to you. I live for this type of shit.
I'm Tia with Genius News, bringing you the meaning and the knowledge behind the music.